My name is Susanne Bier, and I'm the director of The Night Manager. I've always been a huge John le Carré fan, and somebody mentioned that there was a project going on and there was a script, and I was like, I absolutely have to read it. And I read the first episode in a very early stage, and I just thought, I'm going to have to do this. We open with Tom Hiddleston working at the Nefertiti Hotel. We understand he's been a soldier, and this beautiful woman, Sophie Alakan, sort of entrust him with some very, very serious documents. When we jump to 5 years later, we meet Jonathan Pine now in Zermatt in Switzerland. It's cold. He's almost living like a monk. And he's having a very routine, this is like the security of doing the same thing every day. And it's a man with almost no life. He's functioning, but he doesn't have a real life. And here, Richard Roeper steps into his existence, and in a split second changes everything. The main character, Pine, who is played by Tom Hiddleston, is sort of, you aren't really sure whether he's completely on the right side. He's very charming, he's very attractive and incredibly enigmatic. And he does stay that way, but during the course of the series, we realize that he is a man on a mission. He's a bit of an avenger. Tom's totally undeniable, enigmatic presence, I think, is probably the strongest. Richard Roeper, Hugh Lauri, is this, he's described as the worst man in the world. And yet we find ourselves totally attracted to him, totally like whenever he's away from the screen, we miss him. So how can we be so fascinated by the worst man in the world? And he's witty, he's sharp, he's unpredictable, and he's dangerous. Hugh's undeniable, charismatic viciousness is his strongest trait. He brings his charisma, he brings his brilliance, he brings his wit, he brings his amazing eyes, he brings, that sense of you aren't quite sure where you've got him. On the one hand, it's clear. Pine is the good guy, Roeper is a bad guy. And quite easily that line blurs. And at times you are actually almost rooting for Roeper, even if you don't want to. And there is a kind of, you aren't quite sure, does Roeper know who Pine is? Does Pine is he finding himself under the spell of Roeper? Elizabeth Debicki is playing Jet, and she is beautiful. She's like a ballet dancer. She's quite vulnerable in a very sort of irresistible way. She's also sharp, and she can be, there is a kind of, in all her beauty, there is a kind of hard edge underneath. Olivia Colman plays Angela Bier. Angela Bier has met Richard Roeper in her career, and in one specific instance she has met him, and she has seen into the eyes of the devil, and she can never forget that. And her sort of purpose in life is to stop the devil in the Richard Roeper, the devil, actually doing more evil deeds. I think they're going to go on a really thrilling, exciting journey, which has that all the kind of core element of something exciting. And I actually think that potentially there are some bits of psychological things, some bits of storytelling where the audience are gonna, they might want to think about it. They might want to reflect upon the characters a bit. I think they will.